observe some pretty amazing animals. And to help us out with this research, we also have been joined by three lovely trainers, Adria, Christy and Leonora here today. And of course, the three animals we are researching today. This here is Hannah. She is the baby bird, one of the two females that we have here at the Vancover Aquarium. Speaking of females, this is the oldest female that we have. Her name is Helen. And if we have two girls and there's three of them, that means this one is a male. His name is Vancover. He is the oldest of the three. Now I'm hoping researchers with leaps like that, you can answer the first research question, and that is, what animal are we researching today?
Dolphins!
Dolphins! Yeah, that's why it's called a dolphin show. Okay, so a smart crowd, excellent. But what kind of dolphins are we researching? Because there are around 40 different types of dolphin and porpoise around the world. Approximately 11 of those can be found right off the coast of British Columbia. And we know these are local animals. I'll give you that clue. So take a look at the body shape, that torpedo body shape, and that colour pattern, and that indicates that we are researching Pacific white-sided dolphins today. If you're wondering where you can find the Pacific white-sided dolphin, well, in the Pacific, off the coast of northern Mexico, up to Alaska, and across to the oceans of Japan. And these dolphins are very well known for being fast, social, and incredibly acrobatic, as you will see demonstrated throughout today's show. That was definitely impressive there from Spinnaker. Let's face it, we've already been pretty lucky, folks. As researchers, we've already had a pretty up-close and personal view of these dolphins, and researchers back in the day used to have to travel pretty long distances to see displays like that. That's because these dolphins used to be what we'd call an open ocean animal. But in the last 30 to 40 years, for some reason, they've started coming closer to our shores. Now, the reason why they're coming closer to our shores is still unknown for scientists and baffles a lot of us. However, it definitely excites us at the same time. A good close look at these beautiful animals and to learn the differences between the individuals so we can identify them. Now, this is a spectacular view, but let's face it, folks, when you're out in the ocean, usually you don't that would mean they're levitating, and that's not what dolphins do, I don't think, anyway. Usually all you get to see is one body part consistently with dolphins. That bit that pokes out of the water when they're coming up for a breath, I'm talking about the dorsal fin. And that's perfect because each and every dorsal fin is unique to each and every individual of dolphin, just like fingerprints are to humans. So take a look at our three dolphins, you'll notice a few differences. Closest to me we have Spinnaker. He has the most grey or white on his dorsal. In the centre we have Helen, she's got the most curved dorsal fin, and furthest from me we have Hannah, she's got the most triangular dorsal fin. Now that we can tell the difference between our individuals and we know that we're studying Pacific white-sided dolphins, we can use research to pretty much investigate any questions we have, like how well equipped are dolphins at living life in the ocean? Or even more specifically, we can narrow it down and find out what role they play in the ocean's food web. Do they eat other animals? Are they predators? Or do they actually get eaten by other animals? Are they prey? And what does everyone think? Predators or prey?
Predators.
Everyone's right. They're both predators and prey. If you take a look inside of their mouths, you'll notice some pretty sharp teeth, about 80 to 100 teeth. And you may have noticed that throughout the day, they're actually, when they're using those teeth for chewing, they're rather catching their food and swallowing it whole, which would make you think as a scientist that means these dolphins are only capable of eating small animals, things that they can swallow whole. But I'm telling you now that Pacific white-sided dolphins have been spotted eating a large, fully grown Chinook salmon. So does that mean, dolphins, that you can swallow a large, fully grown Chinook salmon whole? No. I'd say that's a no. Okay, so I guess they're not actually answering my question right there, folks, but what they are doing is showing you how they could grab one of those large fish and rip it apart into smaller, more dolphin-friendly pieces. Okay, you've established that you're great predators there, dolphins, but what about the prey side of things? Because yes, you're high up on that food chain, but there are some animals that are even higher, which means these dolphins need to defend themselves. And that first line of defense is that magnificent coloration you see. You'll see that Spinnaker has a black top and he has a white belly, and that's a type of camouflage called countershading. As these dolphins are swimming around, it's pretty hard to detect when they're coming out of the ocean because that black top helps them blend in with the bottom. However, that white belly you just saw from Helen and Hannah helps them blend in with the sky above, so when looking up it's still pretty tricky to see them. But even with that camouflage, there are some predators that can still spot these dolphins and cause quite a threat. And I need your help in identifying these predators. I'll give you some clues, then you need to shout out the answer. This first predator is big, it's black, it's white, it's actually a dolphin itself. What is it, everyone?
Killer whale.
An orca or a killer whale, that's right. And here, Spinnaker is showing to you how he could get away from an orca or a killer whale by swimming really, really fast. These are one of the fastest dolphins out there, reaching speeds of up to 35 kilometers an hour. Pretty impressive. Okay, you all got that one? This next predator has a mouthful of sharp, sharp teeth, and Spielberg made a movie of this animal. What do you think I'm talking about? Sharks, that's right. And actually here, Hannah's showing you how she could defend herself from a shark by using that rostrum. That bit that's touching the trainer's hand right now is, believe it or not, as hard as a baseball bat, and that is one thing that they can use for defense. They can also use the other end of their bodies for defense. I'm talking about their tail or fluke. And let's face it, folks, if your sandwich ever did that to you, you'd probably leave it alone. So it looks pretty good for defense there. But even with sharks and killer whales out there, there is still one last predator that can cause more of a threat than those two. And I don't mean to alarm you, but you are surrounded by this terrifying creature. What do you think is the last animal that causes a threat?
Humans.
That's right, school kids. All school kids around the world. Humans, that's right, you got it. Humans around the world can have both a positive or a negative effect on the oceans and the animals inside of them. And unfortunately, these three dolphins know firsthand what can potentially go wrong out there. These three beautiful dolphins that we have were all caught in fishing nets off the coast of Japan. And this is a pretty sad story, but these three were really lucky because they were rescued, they were rehabilitated, and now they're here at the Vancover Aquarium serving as great ambassadors to other dolphins out there. Each and every day that we see them, they remind us that we have a responsibility to keep the oceans a safe place. And folks, it can be as simple as making sure we're not littering. So it's the same rules as it is around here at the Vancover Aquarium. You keep those items in your hands until you find a garbage bin. It's the same rule everywhere around the world, because if we do litter, if it is on the ground, it will eventually end up in the oceans and cause choking hazard to other dolphins. A round of applause to these fabulous three dolphins as they taught us how good they are living life in the ocean. Once again, this is Hannah and Spinnaker. And on behalf of myself, our three trainers, and of course our three beautiful dolphins, I want to say thank you very much for joining us, but we've reached the tail end of the show. Once again, thank you very much for joining us here today at the Vancover Aquarium. If you have any questions about our dolphins or even about how you can make the oceans a safer place beyond garbage, feel free to come up and talk to me. I'll be available on this dock. I'm also going to be joined by one of our trainers for a few moments in case you have any questions for them. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your day.